thoughts. I believe it's quite enriching. Uh, we talked about people. People are the success factor for any organization to grow. And also we talked about the communication transparency has to be there to make them realize that they are the one, who are responsible for a growth. I've been into a talent acquisition area from last almost 10 years. What I've seen from people, when we talk to them, they are kind of away from the strategies, implementations. They are very engrossed with what they do on a day-to-day basis. Whether you have a structure like, where you do a town hall, you do one-to-one sessions, you have bulletin boards, you try to figure out the strategies and roll out the newsletters for all the employees. What other options, I believe you must have experience in your organizations, what other mode of communications or what other modes of channels that can be followed to ensure that the communication should drill down to the bottom? Because somewhere, it restricts to the maybe a manager to manager, and it doesn't go to a first line manager or a individual contributor. So I would like to know your thoughts, how this can be drilled down to the bottom and we can have a fair and clear communication throughout within the organization.
And I'm going to a little bit build on that. That's quite similar to what I was going to ask. Today when we see employer brand, and what he's referring is the talent acquisition point of view. The brand for employers is, in a digital age today, is merging towards, so there is no difference in how you do as a company and how well are your products perceived versus your employer brand. So more and more there is a confusion, who owns this? Who owns the employer brand now? Is it the chief marketing officer? Is it the chief HR officer? Is it that they're working together, or is it the CEO's mandate now? So looking at social media, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're looking at the talent acquisition side, how in this social media and digital age, we look at creating a brand, because like Manoj was mentioning, the young generation is probably getting attracted in working with a company which does well in the market as well. So how are we managing this, that it gets created as a employer of choice?
Maybe let me take a stab at it with a few thoughts, right? I think there are quite a few questions in there. And I think one of the things, the normal distribution which we talked about, is coming back and linking that idea here. There are views about it, but I think the reality is that you have to rate people. But the key issue is that if you are able to give feedback on a regular basis, rather than make this an annual or a quarterly process, that makes a huge difference. Linking that back to, therefore, your question on, how do you do talent acquisition, and that's something again that where in our new role we see that. I think one of the things that we need to realize in this country is that there are going to be about 1 million people who are joining the workforce every month for the next many years. There are about, in the next 50 years, there are going to be 275 million people who are going to join the workforce globally. Of that, two countries, India and Nigeria, are accounting for 300. So 110% of the total addition, right? So this whole focus around, and that's really the premise of our business, is about this mass recruitment. And this is the employee, the person at the front end, in customer service, who creates your brand, the moment of truth. And that, if you're able to address, so that issue is not anymore just an HR issue. So owning the brand is pretty much at every moment of truth. And quite often it is much more about, in a service industry, about the service you deliver.
So let me address that question and then come to the brand piece. Communication, I have found, whatever you do is not enough. You have to keep saying the same thing again and again and again in every interaction you have, right? So you mentioned a few things that that we do. But so I'll give you some things that we have done as a company to communicate, right? So yes, sure you have the newsletters, sure you have the emails, right? We do quarterly town halls as well, where we give out the same message, and we don't do it only in one location. We have 16 locations, 2,000 employees, right? So getting the message out is not always easy. So you travel to all different locations, right? So sometimes you do town halls in a different location. You do your weekly roundtables that you have with people, right? And there are certain things that my HR team will come and tell me that these are the rumors that are going around. These are the things that people are worried about. These are the things that you should be talking about, right? And even if someone does not ask a specific question related to that, we make sure that we address that. And at the end of every conversation, so we do blogs as well, right? So at the end of every conversation, whoever I'm talking to, whether it's one-on-one, whether it is in a round table, whether it's in a town hall, I tell people that, look, this is the truth, right? This is the rumor that I've heard, this is the truth, this is what is happening. And for people that are not here, and if people come and ask you that question, I would encourage you to talk to them and say, this is the thought process of why the business is going in a particular direction, or whatever the rumor is that you want to spread. But let me tell you that, if you think that I say it once in one town hall and that's it, and it works, life doesn't work that way, right? I have to repeat the same thing again and again and again. Once it is consistent, I consistently heard, then people realize that that is the source of truth, right? I mean, rumors will happen. Things will happen all the time that you've got to address. Your question on branding, it's, and I completely agree with what was said. It is not a single person's responsibility. Any interaction that you have with the person that you're trying to acquire, right? It could be with me, it could be with the HR person, it could be with the marketing person, it could be with any function. So the brand actually is created, by the collective actions or the collective things that everybody else says, believes, does, right? It may be the responsibility of HR or marketing, whoever, to actually create a consistent theme around policies and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, if someone is coming and talking to me, and if I'm giving a consistent message, if they understand how things work out here, and that's exactly what somebody else said as well, that's how a person perceives a brand from an employer perspective, right? If you're doing well as a company, people really want to come and work for you if you have a great. So when people come and look for the company, they want to make sure the company is doing well. They want to make sure they're getting the right salary. They want to make sure that they fit in the culture, and they want to make sure that they have a career in that organization as well, right? I mean, those are the basic things that the people will look for. And as long as consistently you can create a story for them around it, versus having very different stories, right? That's how the brand gets looked.
And in the social media world, I would add that what also happens is that people are not always looking at you to direct communication to them, but for that communication to be available, for them to seek that out when they choose, right? I mean, and that requires maybe, creating internet, creating tools where people can, access the information, because that's a big change.
Actually, everyone involved has to be on the same platform, and it is the ability of the seniors or the middle level person, how they integrate the whole people, so that oneness of feeling is there. So the branding, who is responsible or not, everyone has to own. If that passion is created of oneness, then it is very easy, although it is not that easy as it sounds. Second is how you communicate. You can communicate in so many ways: letters, mails, SMSs, group SMSs, talking to them maybe periodically, once in a week, once in a fortnight, video conferencing, in smaller groups, in bigger groups, going physically. There are various ways. But then you have to allow two-way communication. It is not just one-way communication. If that feedback system and two-way system constantly work, because we have to be very, very transparent. They say, when you communicate, you have only two eyes. But when I communicate to say 200 people here, there are 400 eyes watching. Everyone may interpret the way he or she likes to. So you have to be able to respond to each one and satisfy each one. Difficult task, but that is what everyone has to do in the organization for a good growth and a fine journey. But it is possible.
Thanks very much.